All right, and we are here with Attorney General Douglas Moylan. Doug, first of all, can you talk a little bit about? I know you on social media we've seen a lot of reports of alleged price gouging. Is your office actively investigating any cases, and to what extent?
We have been. Right before the typhoon, we started the investigations, and right now we have about 38 investigations that are ongoing. We're actually meeting informally with the different merchants to see if we can get a resolution without having to exercise the statutory uh, powers and authority and obligations of the AG's office to protect our consumers out there. You had the category of price gouging, which is your classic price gouging within core 2 to 72 hours after core 4. And then you also have the overall umbrella that talks about unconscionable pricing. And of course, that's kind of amorphous on what is unconscionable, but that's up to the legislature, left it up to the AG's office to convince the judges of what might be unconscionable. We're getting some good reactions out there from the merchants. I want to say the oil companies have been very responsive. We met with them yesterday. We'll be having a release very soon about the discount and rewards points that may have been lost because of the inability to use the credit cards and their computer systems during the disaster. We've got a lot of complaints against Payless, so we're hoping that they step up to the plate on trying to deal with some of the pricing questions that are going on. But there are 38 of them at this point, formal complaints. And when people come to us, we hope that they can provide us some evidence, even a statement on how much the price was before, and then what they saw and when they saw the price or purchased the item. So, sometimes prices are just what Macy's charges versus a Ross charges. So we have to take that into account, and we have to be fair, I think, to both the merchant and the consumer, and and explain to them, educate them on what the legislature said that our duty would be in these types of emergencies and questionable practices.
Yeah, because it is kind of a slippery slope because our economic system works on supply and demand, right? And so, how do you kind of reconcile that?
Well, I'm very much a capitalist type perspective. We as citizens have a right to earn a certain amount of profit, and government should stay out of it for the most part. But at the same time, when you have times of disaster, there's a legitimate concern that necessities of life, whether we're talking water or shelter, housing, whatever, it rises to the level that we must be fair as a community and work together to get past this period of time. So I understand both the merchants' concerns as well as the consumers' concerns. It's difficult also because many people think that price matching is what the rule is, and that's not the rule. So if you see it for less that cost you less, which is bargain pricing, right? You buy quantity, they buy in quantity sort of thing also. Their prices are normally cheaper. But if you go to like a supermarket, Payless, for example, it's a convenience of a full type of grocery store type situation. And that's why it's important for the merchants to cooperate with us, because we also have a right to see what their costs were. But again, when you're talking about the price gouging period, it's all prices are frozen. Doesn't matter if you were at a high or a low price during that period. Once the governor declares that core 2, you can't touch the pricing. And we have a set group of complaints that came under that type of a complaint. But then even after, as I mentioned, the unconscionability of a pricing, even after core 4 was declared, that is a concern. Generators, we've got complaints about diesel generators being sold for, maybe 2 or 3 times the amount that the merchant was selling before. That would trigger a question in the AG's office mind: is that unconscionable? Now, not many people are in the market for a diesel generator. Those things are very expensive. But again, if it's for a hospital or somebody that really needs it in our community, that would be a concern with us. I have a team set up, and as I said, we've invited the merchants to come over, and they've been very cooperative. Kmart came over with its general manager. Payless, as I said, came over with their management team. So we're in discussions right now to try to make sure that these prices are fair and follow the statute.